Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and today I'm so happy to say we won! I'm recapping Game 16 of the regular season. Lance McCullers got the start and absolutely dazzled. I'll get into that in a second. Astros win 6-4, out hit the Giants 7-6. Super good game till about the 8th inning, and then the tires kind of fell off, especially with pitching, but I'll get into that in a second. The bullpen continues to put years on my life. Starting with the starting pitcher, Lance McCullers absolutely dazzled tonight for 7 innings. 1 hit given up, no walks, no runs, 5 strikeouts. Lance McCullers had an incredible bounce back start. I really can't say enough good things about it. If you didn't get a chance to watch his start, you gotta watch the highlights. He looked great. So happy to see Lance get a nice bounce back start, especially after the last one where he gave up 8 runs. He had 3 great innings in that game, and he had 7 great tonight. It's just a shame that one bad inning has sort of destroyed his ERA so far this year. Moving on to the bullpen, Josh James came in, and as soon as I saw Josh James warming up, I got incredibly nervous because it's Josh James. And I got nervous for a good reason. 4 runs charged to him tonight. I believe only 3 of them were earned. I believe 1 was an unearned run, but regardless of that, it's time for the Josh James experiment to end. And even if you were a big Josh James fan, which I like Josh James, he's a good person. He seems to be no problem in the locker room, no problem off the field, but it's time for this experiment to end. I know he's got a great fastball. He has a couple of decent off-speed pitches, but it's time for him to end. He doesn't have control. I really can't say anything more than that. It's time for the Josh James experiment to end, and I don't like saying that because I had some hope for James going into the season, but I don't want to see him get one more game that's even close to a high leverage situation. Maybe a few more games that are just either we've completely won or we've completely lost. I'm talking about like a 7-8 run differential, because we had a 6-run differential and we almost lost. We allowed the tying run to get on first. The go-ahead run was at the plate, and we were up 6-0 going into the 8th. Excuse me. So that it has to be a completely it is done game for me to want to give James in any more innings this season. Presley came in and he wasn't great. He gave up 2 hits, which, had there been no one on from James and we just put in Presley from the start of the 9th, he would have not given up any runs. So that was, he was shaky, but technically he didn't give up any runs. I know he kind of gave up the 2, but they were charged to James, so the weird politics of that means he gave up no runs, but they still scored. Picks up his first save of the year. The Astros now have 3 saves, and that is kind of depressing to hear that after 16 games we have 3 successful saves. The bullpen has got to start getting stuff in order. It sounds like Peacock is right around the corner. It sounds like Urquidy is right around the corner, so that'd be great if we can get those 2 back and pitching again. I'm not sure if Urquidy will take a starting position, but if he could take a bullpen position and pitch 3 or 4 innings when we need him to in some games, that'd be great. And then Peacock is just a very underrated relief pitcher for the Astros. I gotta ask one question, though, before I get onto the offense. Why in the 9th with 2 outs were we playing no double defense with the tying run at the plate? I gotta ask, because, I'm sorry, it was just mind-boggling to me that we played no doubles in that situation. I 100% would not have. Anyway, on to the offense. Correa got it started with an RBI to score Yuli. Correa is looking incredible this year. Correa for MVP, and I'm going to stick with this. Brantley had a very weird double. Can we agree that the Astros are the kings of weird hits? We got to agree on this now. This has been 4 really weird hits that have scored runs in the past 3 years. There was the 2 weird Bregman walk-offs in 18. Last year, Yuli had that weird bloop single in the ALDS against the Rays in Game 1 that scored a couple runs. And now Brantley had this weird hit. And we had a weird hit, I can't quite remember. I think it was in Game 1 of the season against the Mariners. There was a weird hit. We're the weird hit kings. If someone knows of a collage of just like all of our weird hits from the past couple of years put together, I would love to see that, and I would love to own that. We have weird hits. It's what we do. Correa then later on scored another RBI, or hit in another RBI on a weird fielder's choice. Maldonado hit a home run, and it wasn't offense, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Why did Reddick not immediately run home? Brandon Belt was playing a deep first. Bregman was obviously going. I'm kind of mind-boggled that Reddick didn't just immediately dart for home. He's not a super fast runner, but he's not slow either. And we could have had a 7th run if he would have just immediately headed for home. So that was a little confusing. Anyway, Greinke gets the start tomorrow. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and go Stros.